Welcome to the Best Small Business Show. Hey, BJ.
Hey, Rich. You know what? I cannot even believe that it is June 9th. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, Q3 is right around the corner.
I know. Sheesh.
Yeah, the market is moving incredibly fast, faster than I'd ever expect, and the calendar is just flying by.
I know. We have, obviously projections and all of that kind of stuff. And the other day, my office manager said, well, with Q3 coming up, we've got to hit this target so that we can be ready. I'm thinking, you're crazy. It's not Q3.
Yeah.
But I'm loving it. So today we are going to talk about a major pain point, making sales, but starving for cash. This is a hard one, Rich.
Yeah, but this is one that so many small businesses run into. And the fix that we've got today is to help you master your cash conversion cycle. And it's a complex term, but once you understand how to build this cycle within your business, you'll be like, why didn't I do this like 6 months ago, a year ago? It's critical for every small business to master their cash.
Right. And you're talking numbers, Rich. That's all it is. So let's set the scene. Why do profitable businesses go bankrupt?
Yeah, it's simple logic. This is my favorite quote. Profit is theory, cash is a fact. Okay.
Ooh.
I'm making lots of profits. It's a theory. Do you have the cash in hand? That's the most important part. You cannot fund payroll with uncollected pipeline revenue. If you have a stack of accounts receivable invoices on your desk that you haven't collected on, you can't pay your people that way. You just can't.
No. And this is around the time I think we should tell everybody to take some Tums, because we're going to get into it kind of hard. And you know what? If you're flying blind without knowing the cycle, today we are going to give you 4 strategies to start to control your cash.
Yeah, it's so interesting. And BJ, I run into this with so many small businesses that attorneys are the worst sometimes. They have they have a stack of clients that owe them money. And I go, there's all this money just sitting on your desk. Just call them up. I can't call them on the phone. Oh, I can't. Oh, it's insulting. I'm an attorney. I'm not a bill collector. I go, but you've done the work. You're done. They just need to pay you the money. So
exactly. It's crazy. Well, bring us into number 1.
Number 1 is track the outbound dollar. Okay. So you need to know exactly when your dollar leaves. Okay.
And you know what? That's a great example with the lawyers, because most lawyers are extremely careful about charting all their hours. And, let's think about like inventory, marketing, payroll, all those things. You need to track the exact departure date. Mm-hmm. And you're going to all of a sudden, if you look in an Excel sheet, you're going to have a real clear line of when things go out during the month.
Yeah. And getting back to attorneys, they're the ones that if they let it go too long, they end up giving discounts because they just want to get some money. But I said, if you put in 20 hours and you charge $400 an hour, that's a certain amount of money that you need to collect. And I said, I'll give them a discount. And I go, don't do that. Just ask them for the money, because too many owners completely ignore their outbound velocity. If you can, build in the cost for every service or product that you offer.
Yeah. And I really feel that making hard dates, not rough monthly estimates, hard dates. Start with payroll, easiest one to do, because you know exactly when each one of those outgoing, be it the IRS or whatever, the payments, all that kind of stuff, those numbers.
Yeah.
And then things such as inventory, maybe a little flex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Marketing, a little flex. But we also look at attorneys, let's just use that example a little bit. Do a retainer.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways for you to understand, that there are remedies to getting this to happen.
Exactly. So, what our action step for this one is map your exact outbound cash calendar today. As an example, I had an $8 million client sit in my office, and guess what? They were completely panicked because he was about to miss payroll.
Oh,
Okay.
geez.
His P&L said he was highly profitable. We were looking at his numbers. He had his laptop open, but his bank account was empty. We dug in and found the exact problem. He was dropping, now you're going to love this. He was dropping about $100K on materials and labor on the 5th of every month.
Oh my God.
But his
Wow.
own clients weren't paying him until the 45th. He was blindly walking into a 40-day, and like Stephen King, dead zone.
Dead zone.
Every single month, 40-day dead zone. And it builds up, acting as a free zero interest bank for his customer. Unless you're in the banking industry, stop being a bank for your customer. Once we mapped out exactly which day every single dollar left the building, the mystery vanished, and we finally stopped the bleeding. And suddenly he could afford payroll every month. He didn't have to worry about that anymore.
Unbelievable. We had a printing source company for a long, long time. And we took advantage of making this type of a cash flow line. And it became quite evident that no, not profitable for the risk we took every time, because
Mm-hmm.
we would pay the printer right away because that's our way,
Yeah.
and then wait 30 days or 45 days after that. So the printing has long since been done. And here we have this huge stretch of time. So thanks for saying that, because I
Yeah.
think you have to think about that. Number two is compress the delivery gap. So shrink the gap to fulfillment. It's key. It's got to be done.
Yeah. It's the time between spending and delivering is dead money. And the minute you learn about dead money, the faster you're going to understand how to fix this problem.
Right. And you know what? Speed up your service, move inventory faster. If you can do something where you can deliver, I know it sounds crazy, but if you can deliver 1 or 2 days earlier, it makes a huge difference.
Yeah, slow projects and sitting inventory bleed your bank account. This happens a lot with service industries where they've ordered all these materials, for an install, but they're waiting on one part that's going to take 2-3 weeks. Well,
Ooch.
all that money is sitting on their floor just wasting away, and they could install it today if they wanted to, but they're waiting on one part. So that's where you need to also get good vendors, get good parts ordering people, and that sort of thing to do that.
To make this happen.
Yeah.
A great action step here is cut your fulfillment timeline by 10% this week. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds like, a stress on your employees, but it's not. Get them involved. Have them find little pockets of time that they can help get this cut a bit shorter. We
Mhm.
had a web development we've got it stretched out by a specific amount of days. So every time we will expand it if a client doesn't give us something. All righty. But we don't waver. Absolutely don't waver. We stay at that date because we know we need to deliver and get paid.
Mhm.
So we have a client who came back to us. I just recently did this for a spring appeal, and she kept delaying things, but I got to have it by May 15th, kept delaying things. And when I said to her, now, bear in mind, we're not going to be on the 15th. And I said this to him a couple of times, but you said, and I finally showed her the Excel sheet and I said, do you see all this fuchsia color? That's every time that you didn't deliver something to us on time.
Yeah.
And those days add up. Now,
Yeah.
I shortened them. I was able to shorten it by a half. But if you notice, I can't do it by every single time you didn't deliver something. And
Yeah.
she was very appreciative. She said, oh my gosh, I didn't realize that it was that bad. And I went, but I did tell you. So
Yeah.
it's a hard one, isn't it?
It's very difficult. And when you have to bring reality to a client, it's eye-opening. It's hard the first time, but after a while you get good at it. And you know what? Clients are adults. They understand. So
Oh yeah.
we've got a little commercial here. This
Oh,
podcast is sponsored by New Renew Brand Marketing, a full service agency building strong brands with clarity and vision. Their clients are reaching their potential through innovative messaging, results driven AI research and analytics, and keeping their audiences front and center. Reach out to BJ Flagg at newrenew.com today.
and by the way, this podcast is also sponsored by Rich G Business Coaching. Are your sales going through the roof, but your bank account is empty? Rich delivers bulletproof strategies to fix your cash flow and help your business grow 15 to 20% each year. And that's a fact. Stop letting a broken cash cycle bankrupt your profitable business. Schedule a quick chat with Rich at richg.com today. He will diagnose your exact bottleneck and you'll leave with insight and immediate action steps.
So let's get back into it. Number 3 is ruthless receivables. This is my favorite. Stop acting like a bank for your clients. Are you a bank? Do you have tellers? Do you have
Oh
an
my God.
ATM? Do you have a deposit drawer? No, you don't. But for some
Yeah.
reason, you're a bank for your clients.
So, you know what? Net 30 is a suggestion. Yeah, no. Net 60 is a disaster. You
Yeah.
have got to bring it back. Think
Yeah.
retainer, think in advance, think a way for you to receive a deposit. You got to think ahead.
Yeah. You need your cash. You got to pay your people. You got to pay your vendors. You got to pay your rent, electricity. Invoice the minute the work finishes. In fact, I've told a number of clients, if you let them know, offer a small discount if they pay upon delivery. So if you're delivering something to them and they have a check ready, say, I'll take 5% off the bill. And
Yeah.
you wouldn't believe how many clients have a check ready for you. And
Oh
that's
yeah.
money in your hand.
We do it as a value add. So if they pay us on delivery, we push it and say, you get 5% off your next bill.
Yeah.
And boo, it happens, man. And it's
Yeah.
just so nice. And it also builds a relationship. And I always tell them, don't forget, you have 5% off. So it just increases a good behavior.
Yeah.
But listen, you have to follow up relentlessly. Don't accept late payments. This is
Yeah.
not what you should be doing.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. We had work done on our house, and once they were done, they were like, we're all set. And they were standing there for a check.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the check. And I was just like, this is a huge job. And so I'm a nice guy. I threw in an extra $100. And I said, take your wife out to dinner tonight. And he was like, wow, thank you so much. But it's like they're standing there for the check because, and you know what? They went right to the bank and cashed it immediately. So
I love it.
action step for this one is switch to upfront deposits or auto billing tomorrow. Okay. I had a client. Now you're going to love this. It's a great one. Uh, it was an accounting firm. Oh, to
No
boot. Okay.
way.
It is
Oh
an
my
accounting
God.
firm with $400,000 locked up in accounts receivable
Oh
simply
my God.
because he was afraid of annoying his customers. Okay. Do you love that word annoying? I always say take the words bother, annoying, pester out of your vocabulary. They owe
Wow.
you money. They owe you $400,000. You're not annoying them. They're just counting on you not calling them. He'd finish a massive project, wait 2 weeks just to send the invoice, and
No
then
way.
let them ride for another 60 days. Let's do the
Oh my
math. Two
God.
weeks is 14, 60 days. That's 74 days of no money. No money.
Right.
That's over 2 months of having to pay payroll from where? From somewhere.
Yeah. And also,
Yeah.
you're not including the days it took to do the project.
Hmm.
Okay. That's another 2 months.
I
So
told him, yeah.
they're getting a break.
I told him, you are a business, not a free lending institution. You're not a credit union, okay? We completely overhauled his process on the spot. We
Oh,
instituted 50% upfront deposits and switched to auto billing on the exact day the work was finished. Get their credit card. He was terrified his clients would leave. Terrified. Okay.
oh no.
Guess what? Not a
No.
single one pushed back, and his
Get
cash
out.
flow crisis evaporated overnight. It was
Come
amazing.
on. I have to say that's impressive.
Yeah.
Absolutely impressive. All right, number 4 is stretch your payables. Okay? So now we're going to talk about in the reverse here. Keep cash in your hands longer. So we were so focused on the money that you were trying to bring it, trying to bring in. Now we need to do it the other way. We also
Mhm.
have to be super conscious with your vendors and any type of, you know, um, inventory issues or things like that.
Mhm. So negotiate terms with your vendors. And if you can, push for net 45. So then on the opposite end, you have a little leeway to have to pay them. But I wouldn't do 45. You're just making it bad for them. Pay them after 15 days or 30 days, and
Yeah.
45 if money's tight or business is down a little bit. But
Yeah.
push for net 45.
Hmm. And this is when incredible communication pays off because, you don't want to pay it early unless they offer, a significant discount,
Yeah.
but you also don't want to stiff them because they're
Hmm.
in the same situation you're in. And when you're in a pickle, you need your vendors.
Yeah.
So there's this delicate balance that you play, right?
Yeah. I have a pest control service and they just charge my credit card.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny. They do the service and it's a quarterly service. And the second it's done, bang, I see them hit my credit card. It's just
Right.
like they're getting their money right out. So
Yeah.
protect your liquidity at all cost to survive.
Oh, for sure. And you know what? Call 2 major vendors today. These are people who I want you to kind of, that you've worked with for quite a while and renegotiate your payment terms or at least discuss them and
Yeah.
have them understand. There was one person who I called, it was a printer. We do a lot of printing. And I called the printer and I said, because I can't pay online and use my credit card, I've got an issue.
Yeah.
I've got an issue. It's so easy. And I talked to him and I said, so easy to set up PayPal, set up any little service. And you know what? We helped him through it. And the ability to pay now or pay with that credit card, like I said, or discuss with your vendor that you're going to go long. All of that is just communication. That's all communication. And I got to tell you, it'll pay off in the long run.
Well, to wrap it up, I'm going to give you 3 phrases, and I want you to go to your tattoo parlor and have them put right on your arm. Okay.
Yes,
Number
please.
1 is know your cycle. Number 2 is shorten the gap. And number 3 is keep the cash. Okay.
Love it.
And you know what? You won't be worrying about payroll. You won't be worrying about paying your vendors. You won't be worrying about keeping the lights on. It'll all flow and you'll have nice cash flow.
Exactly. Better people, better business, better life, Rich.
Thank you to our producer, Richard Scalzo, for making us sound great. And thank you for tuning in to the best small business show.